Welcome back, guys, and we are outside. After 48 videos inside my bedroom, we are now outside. I am just walked through Old Anping and across the canal, across the river. We're going to go look at something, and I'm walking on it right now and just talk about some things that I've been thinking about lately. I've been enjoying doing the reaction videos, and I still want to do them. I just don't want it to become just that, like just reaction videos on this channel. So that's one little piece of content that I can now use and something that I can keep as regular content, but I want to get back out here again. It's getting a bit lazy, I guess, with not coming out, even though I could. I guess letting the mask be the excuse of why I can't come out and make these videos. And I've gone through a little bit of an introspective period lately because I was editing the Sean Sung video, and that was making me think a lot about my own mortality and just how long it's been since that guy died, how long it's been since he made the song that I reviewed. Just going back to that whole fact again about we only have one chance, like one life to do all this stuff, and it really just reminded me of that. Then one of my most favorite celebrities, while I was editing that video, he died. It kind of rocked me because no one knew that he was sick, and he was just one of my favorite comedians, Norm Macdonald. And when I take a break from editing that video, I was watching his stuff again and watching his jokes and everything. So I was really going down this path of like, there is only a finite amount of time that we have to do everything.
The clock is ticking.
And one day it's just gonna go black, and that's it. And maybe you're not gonna know anything, maybe you are, like, you just don't know. So with all that on my mind, it forced me to make some more commitments to myself, because then with the passing of Norm Macdonald, which really affected me because I'm a real big fan of his, and someone that was just so across the line.
Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
So unique, and I just feel like I got him. I got his humor. He was just almost the perfect comedian in a lot of ways. The way he just didn't bend the knee to, what people wanted him to do. He just did what he wanted to do, and he just did what he thought was funny, and he just lived his life as he saw fit. It's just kind of sad that he went, and we won't get to see any more of his humor and any more of that sort of spirit he had. So I thought a lot about that. I was analyzing, the legacy of someone in Taiwan and the music that they created, and then I was also a little bit melancholy about the death of someone that I admired. So it really started to make me think, I gotta recommit to myself to start doing more and being more. And as a guy that I follow on Instagram, Ed Milet, he says it's just like maxing out your life. That's his kind of motto. Just doing everything that you can, because you just don't know when it's gonna happen. You just don't know how long you have. And it made me start thinking about this scene from one of my favorite shows that I haven't seen for a long time. This sergeant is talking to a private in World War II. It's an American army fighting the Germans. My family, sidetracking a little bit here, I'm this Australian. Anzac Day is really weird for me. Anzac Day is like Remembrance Day, all that sort of stuff, Memorial Day. And I'm in this country, Australia, where they commemorate all that sort of stuff. And I'm kind of like, well, my whole family fought for Germany.
Or so the Germans would have us believe.
So I'm a bit out of the circle on that in my own country. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the private is in the foxhole, or in the trench, and he's asking the lieutenant, I think he's a lieutenant or a sergeant or something, or one of the sort of group leaders, and he's asking him about if he's scared.
We're all scared. You hid in that ditch because you think there's still hope. But Blythe, the only hope you have is to accept the fact that you're already dead.
You just got to accept that you're already dead. Without being that dramatic, like a bullet could fly from somewhere and take me out, but it's more like, you just don't know what could happen. You don't know what the future holds, and that I should start getting out and doing some more things. Really leaving a bit of a legacy of my own and a record of the things that I've done, and we've just reached where I wanted to reach, but I've just finished this point. So just thinking about, like, what am I doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
With this time that I've got here in Taiwan, and I've been here for almost 2 years now, and I've not really seen much of the country. I've been very focused on the things that I'm trying to achieve, but I'm just not exploring this beautiful country that I so badly wanted to come and live in. I'm really trying to make that commitment to go and see more, do more, and be more with everything that I'm doing here in Taiwan and on my channel. Just to tell you guys a little about this path that I'm walking on, because I like history and I like ancient stuff and learning about the creation of nations, and this path that we're walking on is actually the Old Anping Canal. So before I walked across the Anping Canal, and so the main river that runs through Anping, and this path used to be it. So the big wide one now where they do the dragon boat races, I did a video about that last year. This was it. This was the canal originally. And I'm just looking at the sign here. I'll put that up for you guys. These canals, there was like 5 canals, and they used to run all the way, I think all the way up to the Confucius Temple. I don't know if I'm accurately on that one. It was just something I remember reading about it when I was putting off making this video about a year ago. This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, is that I want to not hold back anymore. I keep pulling back, especially with the channel and everything as well. I'm pulling back. I'm not being all I can be. I want to be able to do stuff and accomplish things where I can be an inspiration to future members of my family, maybe my nieces or nephews, or their children. Who was your great uncle? What did he do? Who was he? Well, you can go watch all his videos on YouTube, or whatever YouTube is or becomes at that stage. It's one of those things where it matters to me. It might not matter to everyone, and not everyone's trying to achieve. Some people are happy just living a simple life, but for me it's, I want to do more, I want to be more, and I want to be able to leave something that's going to inspire some other people who have the same visions and goals that I have. It's time for me to really up my game a little bit more than I have. I'm pretty proud of what I've done this year that's just gone. I've committed to something and I've stuck with it, and no matter what happened, I just said I was going to keep going, I was going to keep making videos, and I did, and it's starting to reap the reward because I kept trying. I didn't give up. I tried so many things. I just tried to see what my thing was. I started 2 other channels, tried some other different types of content, and then I came back to this channel, and then now I want to start bringing some of the stuff that I was thinking about doing on other channels just to this channel, and just make this kind of like a variety channel. Just do a whole bunch of different things, This is one of the things I want to do. Go check out things. I don't want to be some like person presenting to you like the history of Old Anping where we are now or anything like that. I just want to go and explore, and we find things out together. Give you the experiences I'm getting it, I guess. My version of Taiwan, I guess, and the things that I love about this place and the things that made me want to come here. So some of the things that I might be doing, so doing the reaction videos, still doing those. Doing videos like this where I go out and just check out little nooks and things and bits of history that maybe people aren't aware of. And also I'm thinking about some other things that I like that I'm playing with. Namely, something that I just love so much, more than music, Formula 1. And I'm trying to do some content around Formula 1, but with a Taiwanese twist. That's something that's coming, and you'll know it when you see it. But right now, I'm gonna go and check out this little place that I went to a little while ago. I thought it was really cool, and it's one of these cool things about Taiwan where you're just in a random back street and there's just this shop or like a bar or something that pops out, and that's what I've come to. And this place is called Beer Bee. They basically sell all different types of foreign beers, so non-Taiwanese beers. So the Anping Canal is just over there, just where those lights are. If you kept going straight, you'd end up in the water. And then just back there where that scooter's turning, that's the old canal. I'm gonna go in here and see if they're gonna let me film a little bit of their shop. So we're inside the little shop here, and Mike here, who was just telling me that all this beer is from Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands. Mike said there's some New Zealand beer and some American beers and some South American beers.
I think no. We don't have importer put in Taiwan.
Oh, so this one is one that I would drink in Australia sometimes. I would be able to find this. The Polna is also something you can readily get in Australia. I used to drink this one for a little while. I went through a period of drinking this beer. Mike's put his gas mask on. I must have broke wind or something. So I'm just outside here now in this little cove drinking area that we can go to. I can now just drop my mask. And I'm gonna try two beers. So I'm gonna have this one. This is a Einstock Icelandic toasted porter blended with Icelandic roasted coffee. That's why I chose it, because I love the coffee. Very dark. Wow, check that out. Let's give it a go. Oh, that's heavy. Heavy, but yeah, you can definitely taste the coffee in it. It's like looking at a coffee, really, isn't it? If you had a pot of coffee, you wouldn't know the difference between that being a beer and coffee. So these are the places that I really like. I like just these tucked away places. I'm going to try and find a few more. So I'm going to have one more beer, and this one is called Anderson Valley Brewing Company Bourbon Barrel Stout. Basically, I got sold on the fact that it said bourbon on it. That's all you need to say, really, for me. And I'll be down for trying that. So that's why I grabbed that one. Also, wow, that's so dark. It's like mixing Coke. It's just Coke. Coke and bourbon. Let's try this one out. That has a very interesting taste. It reminds me of going through my father used to be a tour guide, and he'd take people to all the wineries in the Barossa Valley in South Australia, famous wine region. What that makes me think of is walking through the Penfolds cellar, and it's that smell of the barrels where they keep all the wine. I prefer it to the Einstock. Wasn't bad in any shape or form. I like what that conjured up. I didn't really think of anything or feel anything drinking that. It was just like, yeah, it's beer. Tastes a little bit like coffee. Whereas this one, I had memories and I was thinking about things, and there's definite smells and tastes. So not a bad drop, that one. So much going on there. You get the initial taste, like an almost an instant aftertaste in the back of your nose of the barrel and the bourbon. It's nice. That'd get you wrecked if you had a few of those in a row. So decent. So this one was $2.50 Australian. The Australian dollar is about $20, $20.5 to the Taiwanese dollar. Jeez, that's like a $12 beer. That was $12.20. This one was $1.50, so that was $7.30 Australian. I can't believe that was $12, but it's not something you're going to find everywhere. So you take the good with the bad. If you want your Heinekens and Taiwan beers, Kirin, all that sort of stuff. Go to the 7-Eleven, pay you $50 NT, and you'll get a beer for a couple of dollars Australian. You want something a bit unique, a bit foreign, then you're going to pay a little bit extra, because obviously they're going to bring it into the country and everything as well. So I'm really happy and proud of myself that I got out here today, because honestly I have been kind of using the mask as a bit of an excuse not to come out and film, and just that whole fear factor of people being around you. And the little period that I was talking about that I was going through, that helped me overcome that a little bit. I really started to think like, yo, let's go, man. Let's go! It's time to really start doing stuff. Now, I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but that's some kind of advice that I would want to forward on to some people who are maybe pondering some things themselves, and they're stuck in a rut, or they've been thinking about something that they wanted to do for so many years and then they're not doing it. I guess a lot of YouTubers would get to this point where they're a bit cautious about getting out and filming in front of people, and I guess the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. But I've been holding back, and it's been so long since I've come outside to do a video, and I've been just sticking to the safety of the house, that it was daunting. I had to really G myself up and talk myself into coming out here today. So I'm pretty proud of myself about doing that. Just for anyone else who is watching this, who thinks that maybe there's something, it doesn't have to be YouTube or making a video outdoors, it's just anything that you're sort of pondering about and you're not thinking that you can do it, and you're thinking that people are going to judge you or whatever, just get out there and do it. You got one life. You never know what's going to happen. People come and go. Sometimes I think about this thing. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person, and I think that there's certain things that are at play. I believe in a higher power, not so much in the sense that there's an overseer, but more in the sense that we're all connected. There's an energy between us and the trees and everything and the earth and its energy, and if we learn to understand it and take note of what's going on, then we can use it to improve our lives. We can notice the signs, and that's what I believe. And I think that I had a point, and now I've forgotten what that point was. In Christianity, where they talk about eternal life, my belief on that is like eternal life could have been misinterpreted, who knows, but more like the legacy you leave. So what you do in your life, it gets remembered over time. So people will talk about you, there'll be books written. You look at people like Genghis Khan, Napoleon, Caesar, Jesus, Muhammad, all these people who lived hundreds, thousands of years ago, and I'm a dude 2,000 years later and I still know who they are. So that's that kind of eternal life, I think. Maybe, possibly, that if you want to interpret it that way, that's the way I interpret it. This eternal life, it's the memory of your life. So what you do here, it gets left behind, and it becomes a record.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
If you're someone who doesn't do a lot, then that eternal life doesn't really kind of exist at much of a level as it could if you maxed out, if you maximized your existence, if you did everything you thought you could do, you did everything that you pondered, everything that you came up with, every idea that popped in your head. There's a reason why these ideas come to you, and there's a reason why they're given to us to act on them, because we're the right person to do it. There's no accident, I think, to why we are given certain ideas, and that's why I came out here today and I made this video about the Old Anping Canal, because I think that was my idea. I'd driven past that sign for 4 years. I wanted to know the history, so I came out and I did it. Now, other people are going to know about it. Has anyone ever made a video about the Old Anping Canal? Just little things like that. What's your thing? What's your idea? I've got other ideas, videos that I want to make that are just my ideas. It'd be very, very coincidental if someone was going to make the same videos that I'm thinking to make. So whatever it is that your idea that you think someone's going to steal, if you don't do it, it's never going to happen. And that thing that was given to you to be created is never going to be created. It's like an old thing that Les Brown, the famous motivational speaker, said. There's a story about people on their deathbeds being surrounded by your family and everything, and it said, what if instead of being surrounded by your family, you were surrounded by the hopes and dreams and the ideas that had come to you throughout your life? And they look down at you and they're just like, what did you do? We came to you and you didn't do anything, and now we die with you forever. So whatever these ideas are that you have, act on them, do them, as long as they're positive things. Don't do any psycho stuff. the ideas that you have, that could leave a positive impact on this world, act on them. Alright guys, so I have left the beer bee and feeling pretty good. Those are two pretty heavy beers. I'm now walking along the new Anping River. So it's literally 100 meters that way, the Old Anping River, down these side streets. And this is what they created. I think I read on there it was like 1875. It's quite beautiful at night time. The bridges light up, then you got the street lights bouncing off the river. If I forget to say, I'm just going to say it now, guys. If you did like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Last I checked, it was 892. So you're here and you watched and you've seen a few of my videos already. Subscribe to the channel. Help me out. Let's get to 1,000. It would be a really big landmark for me, a real big kind of achievement, a goal that I've had for a long time, and I've really been pushing for it. It doesn't take some people as long as that to get there, but it's taken me that long, so it would really be appreciated if you did do that. Alright guys, I'm getting towards home now. I really hadn't thought about how I was going to end this video because, as is with all my videos, I really just don't put any planning behind them. I just turn the camera on and just start talking. So what I thought I'd do is, remembering the person that I was talking about before, the comedian, I'm going to leave you with one of his jokes that he told on the Letterman show quite early in his career. I think it is quite funny. It's very much my type of humor, and it's something that I think we should just share at the end of this video to remember him by, and keeping that in mind that, we have a legacy that we can leave, things that we can do in our lives that people can remember for all time. So if you're not doing the things that you want to do and you're not living your best self or your maximum, you're not maxing out your life, then just go away from this video thinking about that maybe, and thinking what you could do to up the ante on yourself. It's not about competing with other people, it's just about competing with yourself. It's about being better than you were yesterday, and keep striving for goals, have things that you want to do. Coming to Taiwan was a goal once, and now I'm here, and when I got to Taiwan there was other goals. So keep having goals upon goals and things that you want to keep achieving. Anyway, I'm just going to leave you guys and go out on this. This is Norm Macdonald on the Letterman show. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Well, because you work with big stars. I know you've worked with Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, Bill Cosby, man. He's my favorite guy ever since I was young, and I got to open for him at this comedy thing, and he was the greatest. I got to meet him and stuff. And when you meet these guys, it's so like, you're in shock or something, because you can't believe you're talking to this guy. And so I told him, I said, he's always funny. He has that funny way of talking. So I go, hey, hi, nice to meet you, Mr. Cosby. And he goes like, yes. Yeah. And then you just laugh, And then, so I go, oh man, I go, you're my favorite, And ever since I was a little kid, I always listened to you. You're my dad's favorite comedian ever, And he goes, now, where is your dad from?
Yeah.
That's
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Maybe I'll do him this week on the show. So I tell Cosby, I say, oh, my dad's from Ottawa. So he turns to his buddy Ben as his manager or something, and he goes, Ben, we aren't the Ottawa, And Ben goes, yes, we are playing Ottawa soon. Ben understands everything Cosby says. And he goes, yes, Mr. Cosby, we do have a gig in Ottawa and coming up. And he goes, what is your father? Give me a paper. So he gets a paper and he goes, here, now, write your father's name on the paper. Well, everything's funny as that. If I said that, hey, write your father's name on the paper, nothing.
No, it's not, no.
So he goes, and the pen. The man needs the pen. So I get the pen and the paper, So I'm writing down my father's thing, and then all of a sudden I realize that my father's dead.
See, that's a problem. Oh, man. Oh, man.
So I panic, you know. I'm in this situation. My dad's been dead 8-9 years, and I got the paper and the pen, you know.
Yeah.
And so I know Ottawa's area code, you know. So I write that, and then I'm just writing down like random numbers, you know. And then I go, here you go, Mr. Cosby. This is my father still alive's number here, you know. And he's like, hey, I got to get up, you know. And then, so I thought, God, man, that's a stupid thing I did, you know. And then a couple weeks later, I get a call, and it's Bill Cosby on the phone. And he's like, I phoned the number. And he was so sweet, like he'd actually phoned my father's number. Like, what a great man, you know.
Oh, man.
And he said, the man does not live with the number. The man answered, and not your father, you know. So I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure. Because I couldn't go, oh, yeah, I forgot. He's been dead 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, man.